Good afternoon, y'all. Welcome back. This is day 2 of the live stream week for this Puma collection launch. Listen, yesterday was amazing. Thanks to everyone that jumped on this gear. You know what time it is, man. You know this is the stuff to get right now. Yesterday was awesome. Thanks to everyone out there that ordered a piece of gear from this collection. For those that haven't, you still got, hang on, let me turn this down here. Shut up. You still got 13 days. 13 days left to order yourself a piece of this gear. Today I'm wearing the hot ticket. We knew this was gonna happen, man. This hoodie, everybody is tripping over this hoodie, man. This is the hot ticket right now. So if you haven't ordered one yet, like I said, don't worry about it. There's still plenty of time. You got until the 21st to get your hands on one of these. So yeah, it was a really, I was pleased with yesterday's launch, but we still got a lot of time. Still a lot of time left. And this is gonna be good, man. It's just gonna go uphill from here. So yeah, the live stream yesterday went great. Thanks to everyone that tuned in, came in with your questions. I see everybody filing in right now. So I'm probably gonna have to take a minute, catch up to these here questions. But yeah, keep coming, man. Keep coming in. Let me know where you're from, where you're calling from. It was a bit of a trip hearing where everybody was tuning in from yesterday, all over the planet. I don't know what time it is where you're at right now. You can let me know in the chat. But we had people calling in, man, from Denmark, Australia, UK, all over the place. I love seeing stuff like that because you never know, man. You never know how many people are watching you. So it's kind of cool to see where everybody's from. Montreal, I see someone from Montreal, Mark LaBelle. What up, Mark? I'm going to have to go back and catch all these. But hey, we're here for an hour. I'm here until 4 o'clock or whatever that translates to in your particular current region. And we're just going to hang, man. We're going to hang. We're going to chat. Throw me your questions. I answered a lot of questions yesterday. It was cool. If you're curious about anything, that's cool. But I'm also here, of course, the main reason for these live streams. It's all about this gear right now, man. I am so excited to be able to do this with Puma. It's been my favorite brand since high school. And I got a whole bunch of shoes to prove it upstairs. Some of y'all have already seen my shoe collection. We'll talk about all that, but yeah, this is kind of a big deal, man. And whether you believe it or not, you're helping me fulfill a dream come true. I never thought it'd be possible to have any kind of association with Puma, but here I am today. So, for those that are curious, never wondered about it, visualization works. Don't tell me it doesn't, because I got 100 different examples of how visualization came through. But you know what? That's a whole other topic. Today we're just gonna hang, man. Let me see who's here. Let me check and see who's here. Give me a second, man. Talk amongst yourselves while I read these. Dun, dun, dun. Who's from Hartsdale, New Jersey? James Latham, what up? Sharon J. Jaffs? Sharon Jaffs? I don't know if I said that right. Chicago, what's going on, Chicago? Leslie Beckwith from Sweden. Sweden is back in the house. Crazy. I love it. Keep them coming. Who's from France? Snooze. What's going on, man? France in the house. What else is going on? Mass Batteria. I'm horrible with accents. But you're from Spain. Shout out to Spain, man. What's going on? Beagerton from Edmonton. What's happening? Dr. Detroit, I don't know if that's because you're from Detroit, but if you are, shout out to Detroit. We got someone here from Germany, Al. You know what? There's 100 letters in your last name. I don't know if I can pronounce it, so I'm going to just say Al. What up from Germany? East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. Chad Phillips, what's going down? Wow, Buenos Aires. What's your name? Javi? Z? Sorry. I don't mean to butcher your name, man, but you know what I'm talking about. Shout out to you. Peter from UK, Drum Shed. I love hearing from the UK, man. I think it's probably my favorite geographic location. Next to Canada, of course. I'm Canadian. I love it up here. But if I ever get the opportunity to go to UK, man, I'm going to go. I got this weird connection with the UK for some reason. I don't get it. But ever since I was a kid, man, I've loved everything about the UK. So I'll eventually make it out there. What? Hello from Slovakia. Are you kidding me? What's your name, man? Philip Hosko from Slovakia. That's messed up. That's messed up. You can order this from where you're at, by the way. Delivery charges, and again, might be a little bit much. You might have to look into that, but you can get your hands on one of these, and I'd appreciate it if you did. Leo Finney says, keep the chill alive from Bristol, UK. What up, Bristol? In the house. Wow, we got someone here from Sudan. What? Venhur Mamasaba, did I say that right? Again, apologies. But shout out to you, man. That's crazy. Sudan, that's all right. So many Canadians on YouTube. You daggone right. Canadians taking over. People love Canada, man. People love Canadians because we're so polite all the time. All right, you know what? This is really cool, man. Keep them coming. Keep filing in. I will eventually see you. Yeah. Keep them coming, man. That's very cool. Martin from Argentina, what's going down? So, folks, fellas, ladies, gentlemen, listen. This launch is a big deal. It's a big deal for me, man. Being able to do this with Puma is a huge deal. And we got these hot pieces. There's only 3 of them. We got hoodies, we got shirts, and we got joggers. And I would really love it if you guys took advantage and grabbed one of these pieces. This drop is only 14 days long. Last day for this drop is the 21st. After that, these are going to be done. And this particular collection, man, we designed a very special logo for this collection. And the campaign, the whole Rooted in Rhythm campaign is one that I sort of dreamed up with you guys in mind. I wanted something really special for this drop. And I wanted a really cool way to commemorate it. And this logo right here, man, this thing is retail store worthy. I think, anyway. And the print quality on these garments is bananas. So you got a lot of time still. You got until the 21st. Consider ordering one of these pieces up. The link to the shop will be right in the description box. So after you check this out, or if you want to, step out for a snack or whatever at any point, you can go click that link, head over to the shop and see what's over there and grab you one of these pieces. In the meantime, let's hang, man. Let me know. Let me know what you want to know. Throw in your questions. And let's get down with this. I'm here until 4 o'clock. And if I don't get to your question today, you got till the rest of the week because I'm doing this every day till Friday. So if you don't get in today, just keep trying, man. Pop in tomorrow, try it again, and we'll get it done. Oliver from France, what's happening? Aaron from North Kakalaki. I don't know if Kakalaki is an actual Do you mean Carolina? I don't know. I can't tell. If there is a Kakalaki on the map, I think that's pretty funny. But shout out to Kakalaki. Sao Paulo, Brazil. Man, that's crazy. Canadians are the friendliest. It's true. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe Norwegians might be in line with them. I don't know, but Canada's on top, man. Peter from the Scottish Highlands. What? Yeah. What's going on, Peter? Nick Wilkinson is asking for sizes. How big do they go? Any love for the fat kids? Bro, you're looking at a former fat kid right here. And these go up to 2XL. So, yes, you're covered. You're good to go. So you can get a 2XL, and then once you start losing weight, just wash it 100 times. It'll shrink down to your size. Peter says, I wish Puma would do a drumming shoe with you. Dude, write him a letter, man. Write him a letter and show him this channel, and maybe we can get something going. But I fully agree. Puma needs a dedicated shoe for drummers. They're almost halfway there, honestly, because the Drift Cat 5s and the Future Cats, I don't know if you've ever seen them shoes, man, but if you haven't, look them up. Look them up online. Dead sexy shoes, flat soles so you can really feel the pedals. And their series, man. You got the Motorsport series, so you got the Ferraris and the BMWs. Once you get one pair, man, you're gonna want 100 of them. But I agree. I think Puma needs a drumming shoe. I think they're missing out on a potential audience and a huge one. So yeah, fully agree. Yeah, what Puma shoe do you love? Like I said, Drift Cat 5s, Future Cats. Look them up. I'm gonna end up selling a whole bunch of these for Puma. So if anybody from Puma's watching, we can talk. What's going on here? Chad Phillips wants to know charcoal or gas barbecue. I don't know if you realize this, but we're also here to talk about barbecue because I'm a barbecue fanatic and a genius. So if you got any barbecue questions regarding techniques, smoking, I'm your guy. We're not just here to talk about gear and drums, but I do want you to order one of these. All right. Gas or charcoal barbecue. I'm 100% charcoal Weber Master beer can chicken. You know what? I like both. I have I got a Genesis 2, which I absolutely love. And I got a Weber kettle Master Touch. So I do all the smoking on the kettle, obviously. And all of my fast grilling recipes and stuff like that, I'll do on the Genesis. So if I'm doing any kind of like Asian meals or whatever, to grill up some chicken or whatever else I feel like doing, I'll fire up the Genesis and do it on that. But as far as smoking meats, you can only smoke on a kettle, man. Don't let anybody tell you that you can smoke on a gas grill. You can't. There's a difference between the two. There's grilling and there's barbecuing, all right? Gas grills aren't barbecues. They're grills. Kettles are barbecues. Anything that involves lighting up fire and setting wood on fire to cook meat, that's barbecue. If I had my preference, I would 100% go with the kettle because you're a lot more involved with kettle barbecuing. The process is completely different. You don't just kind of throw it on the grill and walk away and then come back. There's a whole technique to smoking, and it takes a little bit of mastering to get it down. But there's a whole, you can get totally involved in the cook while you're smoking, and that's why I prefer smoking. Mark LaBelle wants to know, oh, wait a minute. I think he's just got a statement. Your appreciation for recording custom versus stage custom. Oh, that is a question. Do I have a preference? They're two different animals, yet they're kind of the same. Like the stage custom is sort of like the teenage brother of the recording custom. Both birch shells. The newest generation of the stage custom birch, which is the one I got, is kind of like an evolved, more sort of inexpensive version of, there was a kit at one point called the Birch Custom Absolute. 100% birch kit. It was a high-end kit. Used to sell for around, I don't know, somewhere between like $2,600 and $3,000 for a high-end kit. Now this was back in, I don't even know how many years ago, 15, maybe 10, 15 years ago, somewhere around there. Later on, they reintroduced it as the Stage Custom Birch. They kind of swapped out a few of the parts and kind of rebranded it as the Stage Custom. So for anyone out there that's considering getting a new set of drums, something you can gig with full time, that's really going to stand, it's going to sound great, stand up to time, just last you forever, consider the Stage Custom Birch. Because again, it's just a newer, cheaper version of an older, much higher end kit. So I don't really have a preference. I've played them both. Obviously, I got a Stage Custom here. Recording custom is mind blowing. It's a lot punchier. It's a lot louder. But they're both great sounding kits. What else is going on here? I'm scrolling. Daniel wants to know, do you practice double pedal sometimes? Yes, I do. I don't always gig with it because a lot of times, you know, when I'm hired to play, it's just pocket, which is my preference anyway. Like I prefer that. But you know, if I'm doing a clinic or something and I need to turn up the sauce or whatever, then yeah, I'll fire up the double pedal just for a couple of licks. Like I'm not like a genius with the thing. Like I'm no Virgil Donati or Thomas Lang or any one of them dudes. But there's a couple of little things that I like to do with a double. Admittedly, to sort of compensate for my slightly weaker right foot. I can say that. I mean, we're all friends here, right? I'm not awesome at everything. You know, as much as I like to think I am, but I'm not. But, you know, my right foot could be stronger, man. I got friends in the business with ridiculous right feet. Like they can do stuff with one pedal. It's just freaking bananas. I'm not that dude. Like I never really spent that much time developing like super crazy single technique. I can get done what I need to get done, and I'm pretty good with it. But I'm not like, you know, like a lot of those gospel dudes, just bananas with a single pedal. Incidentally, man, if you really want to get, if you really want to learn some ridiculous technique, like single kick technique, you got to watch the metal guys, especially like the dark metal dudes. There's a couple of them on YouTube with channels. But man, like they can just fly on a single pedal, man. Some of that dark metal stuff, because they're playing upwards of 170, 180 beats per minute and just flying on the thing like it's nothing. Watch the metal guys for that single technique. It's crazy. What else do we got going on here? Peter wants to know, what are the best cymbals to buy that aren't really expensive? I've been out of the retail game for a good minute. It's been a long time since I've paid attention to every single line out there. I can surely speak for Peisty when I say they're two best affordable lines that actually sound really good. It depends on your budget, but if you're looking for sort of higher end, entry level, kind of lower end, mid level, check out the PSTs. The PST line sounds really good. I've owned a few of those for a good bit. I think I traded them in a while ago because I wasn't gigging with them that much. But the PST line is really good. Like they're kind of like a very sort of cheap version of I don't want to say cheap, an entry level version of the 2002s. They kind of look similar in alloy, but you can check them out online. Like there's probably a whole bunch of sound samples and reviews and stuff of the PST line. There's a 900 series from Peisty, which look really cool, by the way. Not every cymbal in that line sounds awesome, but the ones that do sound good sound really good. A few of their crashes in that line sound pretty awesome. There's nothing wrong with mixing and matching. You can get some from one series and some from another if you feel like mixing them up. But I think I got a couple of videos on both of them. I got a review on the PSTs, older videos, but still relevant. And I have a video on the 9000 series. So check those out. As far as the other brands like Sabian, Zildjian, Meinl, you can check them out. Like everybody makes a mid-level sort of series of cymbals now. So you can always research like whatever your brand you're into. I'm sure they got kind of a mid-level semi-pro line that you can check out. Scrolling. Nick Heath says, best lessons out there, Rob. Thank you for teaching us all. You're welcome. This is why this channel's here, man. I'm just here to help y'all become better drummers. And I don't plan to slow down anytime soon, especially after investing all this freaking money. Brian Daniels. What up, Brian? I recognize Brian as a regular. Shout out to Brian Daniels. Wants to know my take on Yamaha Crosstown hardware. The Crosstown stuff, if you're doing a lot of gigging in what, like your city or, you know, a lot of local gigging where you're constantly schlepping gear in and out of your car, the Crosstown stuff from Yamaha was made for you people, you guys. They're really well built, but they're super lightweight. So they're a little bit on the chunkier side, so they will take up room in your bag. Like if you want to take 4 or 5 stands out, they'll take up a little room in your bag because they're a little bit on the thicker side, but they're super light, which is the whole point. And I don't even know why it took companies so long to clue in on this, man. I've seen some hardware out there. Like there's one of the companies, I don't want to call them out, but you might know what it is. They got a top end sort of apocalyptic series of hardware. One stand, bro. Like one stand will break your back. The stuff is so heavy. It's built like a tank, but it's crazy heavy. 3 stands in the bag and you're, you know, taking a couple of Robaxes after the show. Super heavy stuff. But anyways, the Crosstown stuff, companies are making lighter and lighter hardware as we go along. Like they're figuring out ways to make hardware durable for the regular working drummer, like not so much the touring musician that has roadies and people carrying their gear for them. But if you're chucking gear in the trunk of your car or in the back of your SUV, stuff's got to get lighter. There's no way around it. Like the hardware has to get lighter. So Yamaha stepped up and came out with the Crosstown stuff. So yeah, it's good. It's good, well-built, lightweight hardware. What's going on here? Pierre Brizard wants to know, would you try out Carter McLean's signature stick from Promark when it comes out? I was unaware. I didn't know Carter had a signature stick, but yeah, absolutely, man. I would trust that. Carter's a beast of a drummer. I'm pretty sure he knows how to design a stick. So I'm gonna have to look that up, see what's going on with that, man. I don't know when it's coming out, but I will check that out. Lucio Drums, 87. Do you know Black Limberwood? Black Limberwood. Never heard of it. I don't know. Never heard of that wood, my friend. I'm sure if you talk to John Good over at DW, he's probably got 3 kits already made out of it. That wasn't a dig, I'm just saying. DW makes drums out of everything. Chad G, greetings from Louisiana. What's happening, Chad? I'm a little person in a wheelchair, and I'm breaking into intermediate drumming. I like rock and metal with double bass and the 300th BPM range. Oh, it's a 2-part. My double bass has been modded as much as it can, but still too wide. And the pedal is quite large. Any ideas for entry-level price double bass? Again, been out of the retail game for a bit. I haven't really been keeping up on who's making what as far as hardware goes. I do know, and can probably tell you 100%, that whatever's out there, the quality is way up. Back when I was working retail, back around like 2008, 9, 7, somewhere around there, there was a clear difference between high-end stuff and mid-level stuff and entry-level stuff. These days, that gap is getting smaller and smaller, man. The kind of stuff that you can get in the mid-range now is what high-end was 10, 15 years ago. So if you're looking for a good pedal, there's no need for you to have to run out and spend all kinds of dough on high-end stuff. Whatever your brand is, if you have one, if you have a brand of choice, whether it's DW, whether it's Yamaha, Sonar, whatever major company is making hardware, they're going to have some entry-level stuff that's going to be super high quality. So don't worry about all of that. Seems your concern would just be the connecting rod and its adjustability. So that's probably the main thing that you want to be concerned with, because you want to be able to adjust it. It sounds like as short as you can get it. So whatever company can make that happen for you, I say go with them. Check out Gibraltar as well. Gibraltar makes a lot of different hardware. They do have an offering of pedals, and they're generally in the mid-price range too, like even their higher end pedals. So you might want to check those out. Roman Hill wants to know, what is the loudest snare drum you ever played on? Give me a second. Loudest snare drum I ever played. You know what it is? I don't know if you've ever seen it or picked one up, but the Tama Lars Ulrich signature snare is a friggin' cruise ship anchor. That is the heaviest snare I've ever seen in my life. And you can tell by looking at it with the whole diamond plate finish and everything. That thing weighs a ton, man. And I hit that a couple of times. I hit that sucker a couple of times with a stick, and I could not believe how freaking loud it was. It was bananas. Like you can't take this thing anywhere. So I don't know what metal it's made of. I don't know if it's brass or if it's some other kind of, maybe it's a steel shell or something. I can't remember. But the thing weighs a ton, and it's criminally loud. So yeah, that would definitely be the loudest one. Sharon wants to know, what throne do you use? I had a Gibraltar throne for a long time. Let me start out first of all by saying I prefer saddle seats over the round ones. They're just more comfortable for me. But yeah, I had a Gibraltar one for a long time. The one I'm sitting on now is a Pearl Roadster throne that I've had for, I don't even know how many years. But the one that I gig with, the one that I love, is from Ahead, and it's the Spinal Glide series throne. I don't know if you've ever seen the Spinal Glide, but there's a cutout in the middle of it, and it helps to take the pressure off of your back. It's probably one of the most comfortable thrones I've ever sat on. So if you're doing those long shows, man, you want to be comfortable. So if you haven't seen the Spinal Glide from Ahead, check those out. That's a nice seat. ZP, or ZP, because I'm in Canada. Luxury Lessons. What's up? What up? Are you a huge fan of Protection Racket? Yes, absolutely. The Protection Racket is probably the best built soft case on the market. They've been around for a long time, man. There's a lot of drummers out there digging Protection Racket. You know what? I'm going to back up. I'm going to back up a little bit. Protection Racket has held it down for a lot of years. But then Ahead came out with their Armor. Armor? I think it's called the Armor series. I don't know. Whatever it is, Armor's in the title. But Ahead has a soft shell drum case that's just like you could sleep in one of those things. Like they're that padded and that comfortable. Super well built too. So I think between those two, if you're looking for a soft case to really, keep your drums in good shape, check those two out. Michael V wants to know, what do you think about practicing with heavier sticks? Does it kill the touch? You know what? I don't know where I am on this. I got to be straight up. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure where I am on this. On the one hand, I think practicing with heavier sticks with the mindset that it's going to make working with your lighter sticks feel better. I think initially, like when you go straight from heavier sticks to your light sticks, your normal sticks, say if you're going from if you want to practice your rudiments with those giant marching sticks, and then you go straight back to using your 5As are going to feel like pencils. You're going to feel like Superman for about 10 minutes, maybe 5. But eventually your 5As are just going to feel normal again. And, so I don't know what, if at all, the advantage is. And then on the other hand, I think using those super thick, heavy sticks might be a little counterproductive. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I've warmed up with heavy sticks. But I've never done like extended, like 1, 2, 3 hour, practice pad work in front of the TV with super heavy sticks. I just use the one that I gig with because those are the ones that I'm going to be using, right? If you need to warm up before a show, after you've stretched, of course, you've done little hand stretches and dog paddles, all of that stuff, get the blood flowing. If you want to pick up your marching sticks 15 minutes before you head on stage, for that sort of Red Bull feeling when you pick up your normal sticks, you can do that. Just carry around a pair of marching sticks so you can warm up before you go out on stage. It's just going to make those first couple of tunes feel really good. But doing it as a practice aid, meh. I don't know, man. I can't tell you 100% if I'm down with that. I don't think I am. Let me roll back a little bit. Rick Eaton has a question about the hands. Said you had a video talking about switching to the middle finger as your fulcrum. What are you doing with your index finger? Are they just guiding? Yes. Let me see if I can use my Apple Pencil here without breaking it. But yeah, when you switch to your middle finger for your fulcrum, and you're holding your stick like this now instead of using your index finger, your index finger essentially becomes unemployed. It's not doing anything. Just acts as a guide for the stick. You still want your index finger touching the stick because there is a little bit of, there's an element of control there that you don't want to lose. You don't want it sticking out like this. But as far as function, it's not doing what it used to. You've now assigned that to your middle finger. So everything is happening here now instead of here, right? So yeah, to answer your question, it's really just acts as a guide for the stick. For drummers out there that haven't tried that yet, if you haven't considered switching your fulcrum to the middle finger, humor me on this and give it a shot. Just give it a shot. I can guarantee you, you're gonna conclude that it feels way better than it used to. There are a lot of drummers out there that are doing it now. I got the idea from Dave Weckl, not directly from Dave, but I was watching a video where he talked about during his sort of evolution, when he was reevaluating his grip and stuff, like at one point he switched to the middle finger as the fulcrum. I started doing it and I never went back. It just feels too good. There's something about the range of motion that you get when you use your middle finger instead of your index finger. It just feels better. Give it a shot, man. I think you're gonna dig it. Chris Daddy Dave, you see him do that. My buddy Sarah Thauer, she does that. There's a lot of drummers that use their middle finger, and it just, like I said, it just feels way better. Richie Valdez wants to know if I like to dance. There's more to it. It didn't stop there. I've been wanting to start online dance classes. I heard that it helps with internal rhythm. What's your thoughts on it? Richie Valdez, that's a good question, bro. That is not a silly question at all. And it's not a silly thought either. It's funny you brought that up because I was just talking about Dave Weckl. And I remember watching in a video, I can't remember which one it was. It might have been a cutaway from one of those like Modern Drummer Festival videos or something. Or maybe it was a Drummers Collective video. I can't remember. But anyways, he was talking about the effectiveness of dancing while you're playing. Dave does a lot of Latin stuff, obviously, like that's kind of his wheelhouse is the Latin playing. And he was just kind of explaining how and why dancing has a huge effect on your feel. And I 100% agree. If you're playing the drums and you're not moving, you're not playing. If you can't inspire yourself to move while you play, then what are you doing? What are you doing? So yeah, dancing has a huge effect on your playing. And he was saying how the bass player that he was playing with at the time, he says he actually likes to watch his bass player because while he's playing, he's moving, like he's literally salsa dancing while he's doing his thing up there. So as much as you can move while you're sitting down, it really has an effect on your playing. So if you're taking dance classes for that purpose, with the intent of improving your rhythm while you're playing the drums, that's hardcore. That is hardcore dedication. And I think it should be applauded. That's a big step, man. Being able to do that, take dance classes, that's a big thing. Steve Gadd. Most of us know, but some of y'all might not, but Steve Gadd was experienced in tap. And when you watch a lot of the older videos of Steve playing, it totally makes sense. It totally makes sense when you watch Steve play, because a lot of the things that he does on the kit almost kind of mimics the whole tap dancing thing. So, yeah, man, that was a good question. Give me a second, man. I'm just reading. Mount Ain. I just made that connection. Mount Ain, mountain. Okay, that's cool. How many cymbals do you own? Dude, don't try to get me divorced here. I'm not going to answer that out loud. Let's just say I got a lot. Probably too much. I got rid of some, and I still got too much. But these that you see back here on the kit, these are my go-to. I don't need any more cymbals. Doesn't mean I'm not going to get any more. But I don't need any more than I got right now. I got a lot of cymbals. Calling Morogue wants to know, how can I develop more rhythm while playing? You know what? I'm almost going to tie that in to the last question that we just answered. The whole idea of moving when you're playing, essentially what you're doing is you're kind of moving to your own internal clock. You got to develop that before you do anything else. Nothing's going to feel good. Nothing that you play is going to feel good unless you have a conscious awareness of your internal clock. If you can hear this the entire time that you're playing, you're going to start moving to it, right? So you really need to develop that first. As far as what you can practice to develop your rhythm, I don't know if there's a single exercise that you can do to make that happen. I think you just got to play and play as often as you can. And as your technique starts to get better, your rhythm's going to improve, because there's other things that are going to come with it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be sort of like a result of everything else that you're practicing. So there's no direct way, I think, to develop really good rhythm. It's kind of like, if I can compare it to working out in the gym. It's almost like it's gonna be a product of a bunch of different compound movements. Put it that way. A lot of the other exercises that you do on the drums while you're working on certain things on the kit, your timing and your feel and all that kind of stuff, your rhythm will improve the more you do that stuff. The more you play along the music, that's how that is going to start to develop. So I would say start there. Like if you're going to start at one particular spot, I'm going to say play the music as often as you possibly can. Because the rhythm stuff is just going to develop itself as you work on everything else. So, yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. I'm just scrolling, man. Hey, who's from Indonesia? Nathaniel Kevin. What's going on, man? Dropping by to say thank you for all your lessons. Love from Indonesia. That's crazy. Shout out to Indonesia, man. Debbie from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Shout out to Debbie. Colin Carr. What do you think of Mapex kits? I have an old Venus series and I absolutely love it. Mapex makes good stuff. I think for a long time, Mapex was kind of under the radar. Like they weren't really doing a ton of stuff, I don't think, like a few years ago. I think at the time, if I can remember correctly, their highest profile artist at the time, I believe, was Greg Bissonette. And this is going back years. And then I think at one point, no, wait a minute. I was going to say Russ Miller, but I think he went to Mapex after Yamaha. But anyways, to answer your question, they make really good stuff. Their snare drums, man, like their Black Panther series snare drums, butter. Really nice snares, man. I had a Mapex brass Black Panther. It was a 14 by 6.5 with gold hardware. That thing was a beast. I used to love it. And I also had, if you remember, this is going like way, way back. You can check it out after this live stream if you want to go check it out. But one of my very first videos, Evolution of the Hip Hop Groove. You remember that video? People were just straight tripping, crazy over the sound of that snare drum. That was a 12-inch, that was a 12 by 7 bird's eye maple Black Panther snare drum. And to this day, it's one of my favorite snares. So yeah, they make really good stuff, man. But that was years ago. Like even today now, like going ahead now to, they have a lot more high profile artists pushing their gear now. And the drums aren't really that crazy expensive. Like even their super high end stuff is still reasonably priced. It's really good, high quality stuff. So if you're down with Mapex, it's good stuff. Before I go any further, commercial break. I got to take a commercial break and remind you all of why we're here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is all about the Rooted in Rhythm Puma collection. And I really want to encourage you guys to order some pieces from this collection. It's a very special project that I was able to present to you guys with the help of Puma. And we got hoodies happening here. The Rooted in Rhythm logo. This logo is really special. You can see it's got my little stick man in the middle. This is a dream come true. To have my little stick man, Rude Boy logo printed on the same garment as the Puma logo is just freaking banana. Like it still freaks me out when I see it. So this is a very special drop, man. And this is here for a very short time. just 14 days, 13 now because it launched yesterday. But you guys, man, for those of y'all that are fans of the channel, like I'm calling out my troops on this. All of my long-time fans of the channel, you can really help a dream come true here and help me make this launch a massive success by ordering a piece from the collection. We got joggers, we got hoodies, and we got t-shirts. Everything is fire. Everything. This is premium stuff. The quality is nuts. The print quality of the logo is just bananas. You're not going to believe it. When you get one in your hands and you rub your hand over the logo, you're not going to believe it. The stuff is just so well made, but it's Puma. Like, you can't expect much less from Puma. So I'm calling out all my troops out there. Still got some time. You got until the 21st. After this live stream, hit that link in the description. Head over to the special landing page that was put together for me, which I'm actually quite flattered and happy about. But go check out the landing page and see what's there, man. And I urge you guys, pick up a piece. Pick up a piece. You're not going to be disappointed. After the 14 days, this drop is done. So you don't want to miss out on this, all right? So there's no rush, there's no pressure. You still got time. I'm going to be here all week telling you about it while I'm answering your questions. So you will be reminded every once in a while. So Puma drop, man. Make sure you get your hands on that. Let's get back to a few more questions. We got about, I don't know, just under 15 minutes left. Just let me catch up. Let me catch up. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. R. Taylor. No, sorry. R. Kaler says, buy the gear. This man is giving everyone free lessons. You daggone right. I'm not mad. I'm just saying, he's got a point. Yeah, man, pick up a shirt. It'll make me very happy. It'll make my partners really happy and everybody be happy. And that's what we want. We all want to be happy, right? Joint venture. All right then, one sweater going out to Germany. Shout out to joint venture. That's what I'm talking about, man. Very cool. Thanks for supporting. Again, I will mention, these orders will ship out of the US. They do ship internationally. Depending on where you are, shipping costs, just to give you a heads up, you might want to look into that. They might be a little pricey, just because it's international shipping. You should expect that already. It's still worth it. This is a limited piece. These are only available for right now. So if you want a piece of memorabilia, something that's going to last you quite a long time, snatch one of these up. Just ordered one. David Walsh from Ireland. This is what I'm talking about, man. Rounding up the troops. This is what I like to see. Yeah. Shout out to David Walsh, man. Thanks a lot, bro. Mateo, do you send over to UK? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Just got the details on that. So head on over, man. Head on over to Shop. Pick something out. Lars Johansson, greetings from Sweden. Thanks for the joy you bring. Please give me some reggae backbeat hints and useful exercises. You know what? I think I need to do more reggae tutorials. I don't see a whole lot of them online. And I do have a Jamaican background. My parents were from Kingston. So yeah, you know, I think you're right. I think I need to get on that. Apologies for slacking, but you know, I got stuff to do. Chad G wants to know, could you talk about at what point you felt confident enough to call yourself a drummer and seek out other musicians? What was the process like in the climb? That's a good question, man. That would take a while to answer. But I will tell you this. I'm going to give you a little story. I've been playing for 3 years before I got my first gig. So it wasn't until like just around somewhere into my third year is when I got hired for the first time. It was an R&B gig in some pool hall. And I was, I think, maybe 19, 18 or 19. No, if I've been playing for 3 years, so I would have been 20. I would have been 20-ish. My first gig, playing with these guys, was an R&B gig, bunch of R&B covers or whatever. I did not let on that I never gigged before. Nobody in the band knew that that was my first gig. And I didn't plan to tell them. Because I wanted enough confidence, I wanted to play with enough confidence that they would never even know. The only one indication, one stupid and embarrassing indication that they would have had that I never gigged before was that I didn't have cases for my drums and I carried my cymbals. I carried my cymbals in a blanket. I put all my cymbals in a blanket and I just kind of balled it up. So I looked like a homeless person carrying my cymbals to this gig. But still, nobody knew. Nobody had a clue that it was my first gig. If any of those band members are watching now you know. Fooled you. You didn't know. I crushed the gig, by the way. So after that gig, I think, is when I had confidence going into that gig, but it was confirmed after that gig. I was like, okay, this is the first time I got paid to play in front of an audience. I'm going to call myself a working drummer. Because at that point, you can. As soon as you get paid to perform, you are officially a professional drummer. So that would be it. Brett Thompson, out in Australia. What's going on? Shout out to Australia, man. I know I got a lot of people out there in Australia watching. Brett has been loving the tutorials. Unlike every other teacher, your stuff is friendly, fun, and not intimidating. And he got a shirt. Shout out to Brett Thompson, man. Thanks for supporting. And you know what? Out of all of the comments that I get, all of the compliments, that's probably my favorite. When I get compliments like that, because I realize that I have a lot of beginner drummers watching. A lot of beginner and intermediate drummers watching. When I first started the channel, and I was just kind of peppering out videos whenever I felt like doing it, I figured I was just going to focus on like advanced videos. Because I thought there was enough going on out there teaching people how to set up their snare drums and play a single paradiddle and stuff like that. I was just gonna, and I don't know, man, part of that might have been an ego thing, I don't know. But I didn't feel the need to do any beginner type of videos because I thought it was the stuff. I'm just gonna focus on advanced videos. And then I eventually realized just how many beginners and intermediate drummers were watching. And that kind of humbled me a little bit. And the reason why I think a lot of beginner drummers and intermediate drummers relate to what I'm saying and how that affects how I communicate the information is because I remember I used to be a beginner. I used to suck at one point. And even going into my intermediate years, there was a lot of stuff that I just didn't know. And I would seek out information, stuff that I could readily understand. And as far as how I like to learn, I'm a slow learner, man. Like, I'm borderline dyslexic. I need something explained to me 5 times over before I actually get it. And I think that's why I try to put my lessons across the way I do. I don't use a lot of drum speak when I'm putting my lessons across. I like to explain it to you guys as if I was talking to myself when I first started playing. And there's more than one way to explain how to do something. Doesn't always have to be super complicated. And a lot of stuff that has to do with playing the drums isn't. It can be. You can use the language and make it complicated if you want, but it's not necessary to do so. My main concern with all of these lessons that I do here, anything that I'm explaining to y'all, my only concern is that you get it. That's it. So however I got to put it across to make sure that you guys get it is how I'm going to do it. So when I get compliments saying that people are really connecting to the channel and how nobody's feeling intimidated or anything like that, that's what we want, man. Like, I don't want anybody to feel any type of intimidation just because I've been playing 30 years and, you know, I'm halfway good. Like, I don't want that separation between I'm up here, you're down here, do it this way or you're gonna suck. That's not me, bro. Like, I remember, I was where you're at right now. If you're a beginner drummer, so I can relate. And I'm not gonna showboat or make anything look any more complicated than it has to be for you to get it. You dig what I'm saying? So yeah, I like getting comments like that, man. Just helps me know that I'm doing it the right way. A couple more minutes, man, and I gotta bounce. Let me do one more. One more little question. Hey, Illinois John, what's going on, man? Shot me a nice little tip. You didn't have to do that. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for doing that. Darren Thomas, greetings from Monterey, California. Shout out to California. Boom. Is that red hoodie available in your online store? I only see the black hoodie. Click on it. Click on the black hoodie and you will see the color choices. There's black, there's red, and there's sort of like a indigo-ish blue. So you get 3 color choices. They all look hot. Make sure you grab one of them. Okay, one more question, and I'm going to bounce. But we'll be back tomorrow to answer more questions. Piscopo Drum wants to know, hey, Rob, can you make a living on music? Can you pay the mortgage? In short, yes, absolutely, 100%. There was a point where I didn't think it was possible. But then, here I be. So yeah, it is entirely possible to do that. The only thing that you need to know going into it is that it's not easy. All right? Don't let anybody discourage you from pursuing music as a profession. Especially if you're talking to somebody that's doing it. I cannot stand when somebody that's doing something that you are working towards doing tells you to stay away from it. Stay away from it, man. You don't want none of this. It's too hard, blah, blah, blah. Your first question to them should be, so why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Right? Either encourage me or shut up. That's all I'm saying. But can you make music? Can you make music? Can you make money doing music? Absolutely. The short answer to this question is to not pigeonhole yourself into doing one thing, because you're not going to survive that way. If you're going to be a professional musician, make that sort of your blanket kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Just make that sort of the overall theme for whatever your profession, whatever you're going to pursue. If you're going to be a professional musician, don't just be a drummer. Don't just call yourself a working drummer, because there's a lot more stuff that you can do related to the drums that you can get into. I would say the only way to survive making a good living doing this type of thing is to diversify. That's it. Multiple streams of income is what you got to be thinking about, okay? You're not going to make a ton of dough doing just one thing. So you have to just sort of explore how many different ways are there that can funnel down to my passion for playing the drums and make money at it. That's really what, it's the only thing that you got to ask yourself. You got to be willing to diversify and not just focus on gigging and performing, because there's a ton of other stuff, bro, that you can do. So, yeah, there's a whole, I could talk for an hour on that, so I can't get into that right now. But in short, absolutely, 100%, yes. You can pay your mortgage, you can pay for your car, you can put groceries in your fridge, you can do all of that stuff. And do it comfortably, quite comfortably. If you do it the right way and you adapt to the right mindset, 100%, bro, 100%. So anyways, I'm going to stop there because it's been an hour. It's been fun, as always. We're going to be here for the rest of the week. I appreciate all of you guys coming out. Please support by grabbing a piece of this super hot merch. Trust me on this, man. When you get one of these pieces in your hands, you're going to be so happy that you did, because this stuff, even when I pulled the samples out of the bag, I was like, I cannot believe how good this stuff feels. So, thanks for everyone, man, coming in with your questions. Again, if I didn't answer it today, try again tomorrow. I'm going to be here all week, hanging with y'all, answering your questions. And yeah, it's a good time, man. Appreciate all y'all. Thanks for watching. Show up tomorrow, 3 o'clock. We'll do it again. Hit that link in the description. Visit the shop, pick up something.